Right, so I'm just going to show you a basic import using Webbit as it stands at the moment when it's connected to the LOTS database. So LOTS is one of the dispensing systems. Let's have a look here. Okay, so LOTS is one of the dispensing systems, and what they have in this situation are institutions, and institutions refer to groups that patients are in. Now, each dispensing system will work differently, but this is how it's programmed to work with LOTS. So, pretty much the program figures out that there are no patients in the database, um, and it's the first time that this has been loaded. Obviously, the web platform will work however it works. Um, the main point is that this has to be very user friendly from the startup procedure. Um, However it happens, it has to really talk people through because this is going to be the most difficult part for pharmacies to organize and understand. So the main part is that they need to have their information with them regarding the patients. Okay, so first of all, it's scraped all the users from the dispense system. Now, when we're talking about the users, within lots, it's this table here. So this table is um, staff. So you can see staff here, and it's gone through and it's found. Now this is actually just so these here. These are the lots database replicants that I've made, whereas the tables up here are the current Webbit database features. So what it's done, it's found that we've got users and it's imported them over. So within this, it's taken their initials and the staff name because this is what the actual table looks like. There is no last name, there's no other features, and they don't have privileges within the lot system. They just have an initial and a staff name, and they can pretty much do whatever they want. Um, in here, table users, what you've got is you've got the last name, which lots does not have. The user login is brought over from the staff table. Um, Everybody is given the user ID number 2 because number 2 is a pharmacy assistant. So at the moment, it makes everybody the very lowest privilege. There's no password. I'm not worried about passwords at the moment. And it also brings in the dispense user ID. So Natasha M, dispense user ID number 1, and Natasha M, so coming here. So it's imported that over so we can cross-reference that later from the system. So we've got new users added. Fantastic. Right, so this is the setup screen. It will take you through the configuration. What it does, it lets them know the current configuration of the system so that they can make changes if they need to, but they don't have to actually make changes at this stage. The point of this is to let the user see what is available to even change in the first section, in the first place. So they have to click on this section here, so creating an admin user. Now this is important because without an admin user they can't do anything and they can't elevate privileges for other users. So creating an admin user is step 1. First of all, we need to elevate one dispense user to the pharmacist level. Please enter the login code, GA. It does ask for a password here. I'm not really overly concerned about this, but at the moment I'm just going to do GA as well. Right. Now, for the sake of being professional, it's actually found, okay, this person's name's Glenn. It's now talking to the Glenn. Glenn, you've now been elevated to an admin position. Other users can be edited later on. So it's letting the user know what is actually happening here. Otherwise, they can end up being very confused with this system. Right, so we've got a tick there, and we've gone on to pack locations. Listed here are all the DAA locations once they are packed. Okay, you can add or hide locations. So it shows the locations. This is actually the same page as in the settings section of Webbit. So you can see currently we got shelf, fridge, safe. Some have warnings. They can edit and do what they want with these now. That's fine. Save and close. That gets a tick. Pack sizes. The next shows you all the pack sizes. Here we go, all the pack sizes. I don't have an explanation here for order. It might be worth actually having an explanation for that, or if you guys have got a better idea about it. That's fine, save and close. And right, this is the most complex part. And we need to find a way to make this as easy as possible. This is the final preference page. Okay, there are a number of cycle types. You may hide any that you never use. You may enable them later if you want to. Although you cannot create new cycle types. Oh, that's bad. You may change their name to your own terminology. Okay, so this shows all the cycles. At this stage, they can change the names of them because this is quite important going forward. What actually what settings they apply to their patients. So for example, we've got weekly, fortnightly. I've been through this in the settings section, but this is probably the most complicated part of it that nearly all the users are going to be very confused about. So there needs to be a very basic way to understand this, and potentially when you're importing patients, you may need to reference back to this at a later stage, and I'll show you where. So that's fine. Let's just leave that as it is at the moment. Okay, so import and start. Right, so what's happening here is, great, I'm now going to import your dispense groups so you can let me know which ones are DAA groups. Now the reason for this, if we look in the, um, right, once again, this is the dispense database and what dispense will actually have. Dispense has institutions for lots specifically. So the institutions we've got here could be called anything. Now, I mean, this could literally be, I don't know, um, handicapped patients. Now, these may not all need packs, so compounding patients don't need packs. A nursing home, they probably need packs. So not all of these groups are to be imported. Some of them should, some of them shouldn't. Now, those are attached back to, the person table. And here you can see institution ID. Now, this might be 4, 3, 2. They might not have an institution ID at all because they're not in a group for this pharmacy. Let's have a look here. So 3 compounding, so 4. Let's just throw that NAMSource trial one as a 4. So what happens here is we've got this list of institutions. So I'm going to import the institutions, right? So this is the institution selector for lots. Pretty much, DAA means, are they a packing patient? Are they a packing group? So any patients within these groups will be imported into WebIT if they are ticked. Community is quite important, but this is referring to the 6 CPA report that we're making later on. Patients that are community patients will be available to go on that 6 CPA report. If they are not a community patient, which means they're in a nursing home, they cannot be on that report. So pretty much, and this gives an explanation, what is a community patient. This is just for the pharmacy's benefit in case they don't know what they're talking about. So here, first of all, the pharmacy would say, yes, this is a DAA, and automatically this becomes a community. A nursing home, yes, that is. And Veteran Affairs Webster Packs, yes. So we need to import all those. And then they'll look at this and go, no, that's not a community a group because the patient does not live in the community. The patient lives in a nursing home. So this is very important that we get these specific options available to the pharmacy. Now, at this stage, what's actually happened, and I'll just check whether it's happened yet, I can't recall, is this here, this is within WebIT. It's already imported them. And so it's imported all the institutions, whether or not they are Webster or DAA institutions. Webster and DAA is the same thing. Whether or not they're Webster and DAA. Now, as soon as I go here and say next, Great. Are these institutions correct? We're always double checking because people never read anything properly. Yes. Great. I'll now go through each institution separately and you can select the patient preferences. Okay. There's a batch update feature, which we've spoken about before. Great. So loading institution Webster's. So what it's done is it's imported all those, the is DAA, is community, and now it's looking for all Webster's within person, everybody that is institution ID number 1. Great. So here we go. This is everybody that is institution ID number 1. Just for the sake of it, we'll see if this works. It failed before. Update. There we go. Okay, so it's updated everybody, but the reason we're doing them in groups is because it might be that the pharmacy has all their weekly patients in one group, fortnightly in another, monthly in another. We don't know how they've organized it because they can do whatever they want and it's going to be very specific to the pharmacy. Now, by default, the patients are all over 5 medications. This is important once again for that reporting feature, and 99% of patients are going to have over 5 medications. So that it needs to be there, but it's going to be default yes. At that stage, the pharmacy might go, yeah, it's a monthly, weekly, monthly, that's a monthly, weekly, that's a fortnightly, and they've changed them all. As they change them, it's changing this packs to collect here as well. At that stage, they might actually put notes in here. He is ugly. She is forgetful. Okay. Okay, so they might put some comments here. Now, once they've done that, they will save and close. 14 patients have been added to Webbit. Now, over here in table patient within Webbit, we've now got those patients. It's imported their address, their suburb, their phone number, their original dispense ID. It's imported their repat number, all the different fields that I've already told you about. But it's imported all these details from the dispense system for those specific patients. But now it's actually created it so that we've got all the IDs and all the information specifically about these patients. So that's all imported there. That's great. Okay, 14 added to Webster. All right. Now loading the next institution that we had ticked, which is nursing home. In here, we've only got one patient, so they go, yep, that's fine. She's an extra large, monthly, and safe, and maybe nursing home is all delivery, so they go delivery. Great. Save and close. One patient added. So once again, we'll now find that Sue is added into this system over here as well. So there we go, loading institution, the final one, and I think this is the one. Here we go, we put the NamSource patient trial here. Sure, we can just do this and go, yeah, both are extra large, weekly, and well, let's just say on the shelf. Great. There we go. So these ones are updated, so we go save and close. Great. Right, so what we've actually done is we've added everybody in. You've got Sue from that one group. We got Denise and the NamSource trial. As we look down here, sorry, they are attached to institutions. We got institutions 16, 17, 19, 19. And here we've got 16, 17, and 19. These are the Webster institutions. And the dispense institution ID is actually saved here as well, so that can be cross-referenced later on back to the original dispense system database. So you can see if there's any new ones, if they've changed their names, and you know what's going on there. So all the data is saved. So Webbit will now create packs for the imported patients. Okay. Are you about to start packing a monthly cycle? Now I'll go into the monthly cycle system in a separate video, but the general idea here is some patients are getting 2 weeks, some patients are getting 4 weeks. So are you going into a monthly cycle? If you're going into a monthly cycle, then potentially the pharmacy will get all 4 packs at that stage. I'll go into that into more detail. For the moment, I'm just going to say yes. Okay. What Monday? Because packs always start on a Monday. So what Monday would you like your first packing cycle to start? This should be cross-checked to make sure they have selected a Monday. I think it does at the moment, but I'm not, not willing to test this and do it all again. Let's say Monday the 21st. There you go, Monday the 21st of May. Okay, great. There we go. It's scanned through them all, and the program's up and running. So we've got all our patients, and in the packing section, 0%. Start packing, and here we have everybody. So everybody's listed there. You've got your monthly, so that's 4 weeks. We've got a weekly and a weekly for the same patient. A monthly weekly, which they've got 4 packs. So pretty much it's generated everything and the whole thing's ready to go. So um, that is the import using the lots dispensing system. There are 2 other dispensing systems and I need to get the details for those, but this is the general idea for the lots one. So you can see a brief idea of kind of how I've organized it.